Well, we've boiled down that half gallon of sap, and we poured the contents of the one pot into the one. Both of these had about equal amounts when we started out. You can see there's only about a ½ inch or less in there, and the boiling sap is starting to foam, which means that it's real close to reaching the sap, the syrup stage. And you'll start seeing the foam here, and that's where you got to be real careful, because we're using pretty high heat just to speed up the process. I know some people are real particular about their temperatures and everything, but for the small quantities we're using, you can boil a ½ gallon down in about a ½ hour. So I can feel on the bottom of this the syrup or the sugar already forming, and you got to stay with it at this point. You can see it getting a little amber. It's starting to thicken up. I've tasted it a few times, and I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit here. I want to keep it fairly good, but don't want to risk burning it. And because it reaches a point where you get this much surface area on this big pot, and it'll start scorching, and you don't want that. It gives it a burnt taste. And but this is early sap, so it has a higher sugar content, so I'm told, and I could attest to that just by tasting it out of the tree. And it does have a higher sugar content. So typically we'll only get a couple ounces, a 40 to 1. If you figure that ½ gallon being 64 ounces, you know, you're only talking about a little over an ounce. But I think this one we'll probably get a couple ounces out of it, and that'll be a good start for our first boil of the season. And I'll come back and show you the actual syrup in the next episode.